It's Jean-Marc again. And here's the thing, if you're doing local lead generation, what's important? What makes it different than other types of lead generation? So I'm going to tell you it depends on three things. These are the three things that local lead generation has to do for you. First, it has to maximize your sales and get more sales via sales leads in your local area. Next, it has to get local people interested in your business. And lastly, it has to define who your best local customers are and could be. So let's talk about it. Maximizing your sales and getting more via sales leads in your local area. It's great and all. If you can maximize sales with what you're doing, you could try to offer a buy one, get one free deal. You could offer some kind of other discount. You could give people an incentive to purchase a year ahead of time. You could give them extra money for purchasing a gift card, say. But your business, in order to keep running at full steam, in order to keep growing, you have to be able to expand into your local area. And that's where a lot of people get stuck, and where the sci-fi method that I've developed can actually help you through developing word of mouth. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Next thing that local lead generation has to do for you, it has to get you local people interested in your business. So it's not enough that we can just put out billboards or flyers or get some friends into our place. We need the local people interested in our business. Now, you might think, well, obviously, I have local people interested in my business. That's how I have a local business. Duh. But if you actually look at the people in your business, you might start to notice that you have something in common. So here's a true story. I was working with this office space owner, and he was trying to get more people into the business. He's like, "You're a marketing guy, you can help me." So we're talking about who his best customer is. And here is the kind of guy he's what you'd call, I guess, a spendthrift, kind of thrifty guy, thinks that 7-Eleven and McDonald's are fine dining experiences. Is really bare bones about no frills at all. Funny enough, as we start going through the list of qualities his ideal customer has, the people he's working with now has, they all tend to hit the same sort of profile. And then I thought to myself, isn't that interesting? Well, this is years later after hindsight. And I was able to look at who's actually in the area using the sci-fi method I mentioned before. But let's talk about the next point in what local lead generation should do for you before we get into the sci-fi method. All right. It should define who your best local customers are and could be. So it's not just looking at the inside of your business and saying, okay, I get people like this, so we should keep trying to get more people like this. No, because oftentimes business owners like to create little silos for themselves where they serve people like themselves. It happens to the best of us. We go into the world trying to create a business in order to put something out there in the world and gather people together, and they tend to be people like us. And just, love on those people. That's great. But in order to grow, we have to be able to spread our wings and get past that point, right? So let's finally talk about the sci-fi method. What does it involve? Well, it involves two things. First, the sci, right, which is the science, and next the fi, which is the fiction. Fiction makes more sense explaining before, so I'll explain it first. In your business, there's a fiction. Just like we've talked about, you tend to attract people to you like yourself. Me, I'd probably get folks around my age that are probably also male, that are interested in technology, and a lot of business owners tend to just gravitate towards that group. Some people build great businesses on that group, but if you're looking for growth, we're going to have to extend beyond these limitations. Now, to understand the fiction in your business, we're going to need to do an old-fashioned buyer's persona. And what does that involve? Well, if you click on the link below, you will see one of my real life buyer persona examples. It's pretty straightforward. We're just going to detail everything about this customer that you currently see. So their background, for example, are they 4-year college educated? Do they work in designing or marketing or software, are they single, are they married? All this is going to at least give you a fictional view, a somewhat fictional view of this perfect buyer. Not saying every single person that goes into your business is this person, just saying you're getting this idea of if your perfect buyer were an actual person, what would they look, act, sound like? Next, demographics, things like their gender, their age, income, identifiers. What makes them different than other people? In this example, we knew they were podcast listeners, they were into humor writing, they liked Reddit, and of course, the business leader liked all those same things. What are their challenges? What brings them to you in the first place? If you're a food place, their challenge could be, hey, they always get hungry. They're hungry at lunch and they're looking for a great lunch space around, but none of the places are to their liking. So they go to you. Next, we talk about how I can help, how you can help, not how I can help, how you can help, what you can do to help meet these challenges. We talk about common objectives that they have, and if you have any real life quotes, insert those that deal with people's challenges, their hopes, their fears, whatever. So that is the fiction of science fiction. And this is so we can get a firm grasp. Okay, this is our person, and now let's talk about the science. For the science aspect, I recommend this tool called the Esri zip code lookup tool. It's a great tool and it's free, and it allows you to look up different lifestyle groups by location. And what's awesome about lifestyle groups is they're based on psychographics, things that are going to be a little more enduring than, say, age, sex, and location, right? Some of those can change. They can change in time. You're living in New York before, you're living in Philadelphia now. You were 30 before, hey, you're 50 now. All these things can change. So, in the example of our office owner, when we looked at the life group in his area that seemed to align with the business, we noticed that they were, say, around his age. But here's the thing, they found social status very important. They were more likely to be from an ethnically diverse background. This was a dude that that probably thought mayonnaise was spicy. Just to give you a background, top earners in the group worked in computers, mathematics, finance, management, things like that. They liked wine bars, they had Mac computers, they enjoyed Trader Joe's, and they enjoyed Whole Foods. This was not this dude at all. Not him at all. And it makes sense why there was such a disconnect between the people he wanted and the people he got. Now, how does this whole sci-fi method work together? Well, we take the science, right? The people that are in the business now, the people that are part of your club now, we take the fiction and then we see, put them together. We put them together, right? Until we find some common love there, a common bond. So, in the example that I have on the post, which is of a guy who runs a local hamburger stand, he runs a local hamburger stand and he knows that, hey, the people that see me work in construction, they're between the ages of 40 and 55, and they love my 99-cent burgers, which lets you know, hey, these are value shoppers. These are people looking for that great deal. But if he were to operate an area similar to the one I'm talking about, to where these people were into Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, they were into wine bars, Mac computers, working in finance and management, things like that. We're not saying that he has to drop his current clientele, because that wouldn't make any sense. He's making money now, should still keep making money. The thing about the sci-fi method is we take these two things together, we put them together, and we see if we can find some commonality. So, for examples, say our guy's name was Macau, and Macau went over to Trader Joe's and Whole Foods. He's like, what's the big deal here? These people in the area seem to like this place. I wonder what's so cool about it. Say he hangs out, he talks to some people there. He also gets a few shopping items. And then one day he realizes, wow, they have a lot of gluten-free items here. I don't think I have a gluten-free item in my whole entire hamburger stand. Well, Macau can easily start to incorporate these gluten-free options with his offering. See, that way he doesn't have to alienate his folks and just go to, say, quinoa chips and kale wraps. You don't got to go that far. But what you can do is start to see where the science and the fiction can meet and create some synergy. There's a buzzword for you. Synergy. I think that's how I use it. Anyhow, that is how you're going to do the sci-fi method. And for more information on all about local lead generation and how we can do that through word of mouth marketing, I encourage you to go check out the post that I've reworked called Local Lead Generation Through Word of Mouth. You can't buy it, a method focused guide. This has been Jean-Marc. Talk to you later. Click the link below. See you soon. Peace.